This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Mothership role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Johnson Squared. It was written by Joshua Luke Cable and Samuel T. McNally. It's available from Peregrine Coast Press. Our game warden is David Gassaway, and this is episode 4. A recap will be given by Morgan Llewellyn as his character, Marine Dameron Colton. So without any further delays, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Morgan?
Thank you very much, Tom. This is a personal log of Dameron Colton. I am recording this log to evoke Article 19 protocols as outlined in my contract, taking command of the situation here on Moon Chimera effective immediately. And in accordance with Section 3, Clause F, I must justify my decision. Let's begin by discussing the absolute shit show that went down in the mess, shall we? Janus Corp security guy, Hudson, got contaminated by the clones' science experiment. It would take a poet to describe what happened to him, and I ain't no goddamn poet. Chauncey usually has a good set head on his shoulders, but apparently what few brain cells he possesses took a vacation, and he decided to inject Hudson with even more of the fucking stuff. Unbelievable. I took Hudson's gun and put him out of his misery while everybody else was squabbling about who cares. Whoever took the data drive has moved from the status of potential hostile to active security threat, but that corporate bitch Debecki still believes that she's in control of the situation. She's really got a nerve accusing me and my team of anything. Corpos never cease to amaze me. They sit on their asses and bitch about the gap between the bullshit in their heads and the reality on the ground. Debecki really seemed to believe that we just stroll in here and find that data drive by lunch. And all without disrupting the lab and being very delicate with the personnel. She'll realize that she's no longer in charge soon enough. Doc Yaren, fortunately, has finally started to see sense. He's given up his fantasy that the clones are docile, harmless men of science and recognizes the fuckers as the breath of the hour. Not just to us, but to whoever else is on the receiving end of their weaponized goo. We took a tour of their little zoo, and it ain't pretty. The bot went to dissect Hudson with an overly eager red. Bot's creepy as hell, but he's reliable. We liberated our weapons from Hudson's locker and visited that little weasel named Alec. He was storing a gun in his prosthetic leg, which I confiscated. I also helped to persuade him into opening up his terminal. And lo and behold, it turns out that he has had a habit of selling company secrets, making him now our number one suspect. Hudson's dead, Debecki is useless, Alec is a traitor, and the clones pose a risk to the safety of my team. As such, I see no alternative to taking complete and total command of the situation. My team is armed, and we will protect ourselves. Dameron out.
Thank you, Morgan. Indeed, we find ourselves still in the steward's cabin and the associated stockroom, where you find that he is still holding a bloody cloth to his chin, but exposed. His anxiety about getting clocked again by Dameron has been somewhat replaced with outrage. Like, all right, you idiots. I hope for your fucking sake then that you managed to find the damn data drive. Otherwise, when the shuttle comes, I'm living on it without you. Because I can't to get off this moon before they find out what you found out. And if you think you're going to get like a bonus or something for finding out that I was selling shit to Peyton Sterling, it's not in your contract. They're not going to give you nothing. Why would I steal the data drive when the goddamn program isn't finished? I was just reporting, man. Just doing my job.
I shoot him with an electrified water gun.
Uh, yeah, that'll put Grierson on his butt. Um, uh, and it looks like you figured out the simple, trigger system perfectly well.
Looked pretty straightforward.
Yeah, the water hits him on the chest, and then there's a little crackling noise, and he collapses onto the floor. Not unconscious, but very woozy.
I stand over him, like still pointing. I was like, "Seems like we got our guy here, right? Y'all agree?"
I mean, he certainly bumped himself up to the top of our list of suspects. But we
A
can't
person
be
of
sure.
interest.
I think that we need to drag his ass over to Debecki. If a sign of nothing else, to know that the corporate espionage has been going unimpeded under her nose this whole time, and that she needs to get the fuck out of our way. Clearly, if we can discover this, we've been here for less than a day. She really needs to stop questioning us.
I think you should consider too using a little more coercive tactics to see if he'll reveal where he's hidden the drive.
I pull out one of the syringes, like, well, I've got a motivating factor here.
Yeah, well, that'll kill him. And if you kill him, then we'll never know. But he did make a point. Why would he steal a drive if it wasn't finished yet?
Here's the thing. If we go through his logs and he hasn't been talking to this, whoever he is on the other side about this drive, then he may not actually be our suspect. But it does show how just unorderly this place is. I personally think that it's one of the Johnsons.
Well, in that, if you say that, I've been speaking to a lot of the Johnsons for a lot of reasons, and the only one that I had reservations about was Yellow. Yellow seems a little more sympathetic about the clones, and he seems like he'd have a little bit more motivation to get off this place, and therefore trade information for money.
Well, perhaps we should identify who killed Director Hudson.
Well, yeah.
We need to figure that out too, because I'm sure whoever killed him would be more than happy to kill the rest of us. Hey, bot, go through those conversations and see if he's talked to his corporate espionage contact about the data drive.
Of course.
Alec would be most likely to have killed him, since that guy was the security guy and this guy was smuggling stuff.
Alec from the floor goes, ah, and his eyes are kind of rolling.
Is that an admission? Is that an admission of guilt? Should I squirt him again? Maybe it'll...
No. Let him come to at least.
For him to be able to work for so long, Hudson must be horribly incompetent or otherwise compromised.
That's what I was going to say. I think everybody had a nudge, nudge, wink, wink system here with Alec. He gets the stuff they need. Nobody gets in trouble. They don't have to write any forms.
Have you gone through Debecki's messages?
We only have access to... Go ahead.
Because she could be in on this whole...
First day we were here, we looked through her stuff and found that she was going to weaponize their discovery.
Yeah, Moore did go through Debecki's personal database. There was not any evident encrypted messaging program on her stuff, and in fact, what was alarming there was internal corporate documentation that she did not have very well firewalled. Moore, you've already done some preliminary search through the Peyton Sterling correspondence. There is no mention of a data drive. There's also nothing regarding today's date or the date of the theft a couple of days ago. And he doesn't seem to mention anything about its use as a weapon.
Okay.
There's some he's copied some lab reports that he obviously stole from the facility, but there's nothing that suggests that he'd been discussing with them anything to do with the data drive.
So
Is
does
there
it seem more
any
like
indication he's also working with someone here? Like he talks about a partner, or he references access to security logs, anything that might indicate that?
That's going to be a little trickier because you can't do a sort of direct search for that. But what you notice as you start is that his correspondence with the company Peyton Sterling precedes his contract at this on Chimera.
Okay. So he's a long-term,
So he seems to be their
yeah,
employee
he's
first.
okay.
Yeah, so
So I
he's just
relay that to
he's
everyone.
just a corporate spy, and a bad one at that.
Ah,
Yeah, corporate
he
espionage
survived
above
this
my
long.
pay grade. Yeah, well, and whose fault is that, huh? It's not my fault. I'm not the one running the show. Come on, I'm going to haul him. I'm just going to pick him up
hmm.
and just start dragging him to Debecki.
And as we're going, I'll mention Yellow also, as I was saying, was concerned for the clones. He would have been in direct opposition to the security guy who would hunt them. So there might be something there. I was witness to a clone that was birthed and there were anomalies. Now, I was told he was going to the incinerator, but I don't know that that's true. And the security guard could have found out. So Yellow's
Well,
up there on my list.
Yellow might be harboring the colony of misfit Johnsons outside. Red has his dreams of expanding in human intelligence with the serum.
I think
They're
Magenta
all
is
weird. They all have their own little side motives. They're not a unified whole. I mean,
no,
any number of them could have their own weird or pet or fetish reasons to sabotage the whole project. And
no.
also statistically, there's more of them than there is anybody else. So if we're just picking someone at random, it's likely to be one of them.
there's some of them though I'd almost like to rule out. I don't think that Magenta would sabotage a system that he's been working on for years right at the end. Um, and I think Black is the lowest one on the totem pole. If anything, if anyone was in danger, it would be one of the other Johnsons that he would want to get out of the way so he could move up. But he's been doing that for what, 15 years too. So I don't know if either one of them would qualify, but anyone in between, especially red and yellow.
So I'm
Well,
going
we'll
to ask
think
Alec about the bypass devices that I found in the security office to see if he knows anything about it or is his or anything like that.
He, rolls his eyes toward Dameron to see whether he's going to get socked again. And he's like, I have nothing to do with me. Nothing. Didn't know about it. Can't feel my
Does he
tongue.
seem truthful?
I hope for his sake he's being truthful.
Again, I don't know the benefit to reporting him to Debecki. What do we get out of it?
We get a
Again,
scapegoat that we could use to get us out of here.
didn't give you no good about the data drive. I don't have a data drive. I'll pay you to not send me in. I need to get out of here. My NDA will crush me.
He might be more valuable as a contact than as a temporary scapegoat. We owe him. Oh, sorry, we own him now.
He groans audibly at that.
It seems the logical thing to do.
Well, what's to say that he's not just lying to us right now? He could have that data drive in his shoe and just wants us to let him walk away. Even if he gets arrested and thrown in jail, he'll have the data drive in his shoe. He was lying the whole time. We can't trust him.
Well, we can't let him be walking around freely. And quite frankly, we can't be having. I mean, the fact that these people are still going about their business in the station, they could be moving it all the time. Whoever has it. So we can't let him roam free.
We could restrain him and tie him up.
Well, let's get him to Debecki. She might, for all we know, there's a confinement room in this place.
Yeah, there's probably
those
something.
cells.
Yeah,
Those cells where they got the
under the
monsters.
assumption Debecki is reliable.
She's corporate, so she hired us. That's all the reliable that we really need.
I mean, I also want to make it clear that people who get in our way, people who aren't forthright with us.
I didn't get in your fucking way. Your fucking gun got in the way of my fucking face. I don't have your fucking data drive. You're wasting your fucking time.
I think we'd maybe just gather them all up in one room, and I mean, they'll start turning on each other eventually if we.
I like your thinking there, Chauncey, but I want to demonstrate our good faith to Debecki, also to show that we're in charge.
Lead on.
It is not very far from the stockroom and his habitation to Debecki's office and her quarters. As you approach, he sort of tried to drive his heel into the floor as if that's going to slow you down. And, 30 kilometers. Just let me leave with you on the shuttle. You don't want to piss off my employer anyway. Peyton Sterling got work for you.
We don't typically have trouble finding work, so it's not a great bargaining chip.
Your fucking funeral. No data.
You know what would Alec?
You're one fuck away from getting squirted again.
Chauncey. Alec, look. We're not the bad guys. You're not the bad guy. We know that. You're just in it to make some money. I get it. But we get plenty of jobs like this one. So that's not gonna grease your wheels. What you gotta give us is something.
Drive, so I can't
that's fine. That's fine. Who killed Hudson?
What the fuck do I know? Anybody can work that car.
Okay, sorry, Debecki. Unless you got something to give us, man.
Yeah, I got shit, and you got shit too.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, we got you. That's a start.
And he proudly pulls his arm out and pushes Debecki's buzzer. Or intercom because well, now what?
Oh, we've made some progress.
About fucking time. And you hear the little click buzz as her door begins to slide open. Oh, you're fucking beating up the staff now? Did he have it? Where is it?
Yeah, I will shove him into the room.
He
not making
stumbles and falls on his knee and makes
any pretense of hiding the weapons of ours that we've liberated from security. Say,
records in his. Yeah, go ahead.
Not the tightest ship that you run around here, is it?
Oh, for God's sakes. You don't have anything, do you? You're smacking around Alec the stock boy?
Yeah, corporate spy.
It's almost 1330. You've only got a few hours till the shuttle comes that you're supposed to get on and get out of here. Where is the drive? Alec, pick yourself up. You're pathetic. Come on. Progress? You said you made some progress. This is progress?
We found that Alex has been selling secrets to your competition.
Huh. Well, like what?
We don't know the details, so it's all on his computer, though.
Yeah, okay, great.
He would have the highest motivation. But we don't think that he murdered the other Hudson.
This guy? Murder? For fuck's sake. No, it's one of those freaks. Hours ago, I told you to look at the freaks.
We've looked at
and you're
freaks.
Beating up the staff. One of them's shot. For all I know, he could have been given an antidote. Why is he wet?
I got to try out one of the pacification toys that we found in the zoo.
Zoo.
Yeah.
Toys. Okay. Dr. Yoren, I suppose you're the brains of this operation. Can you get your people in order and wrap this up? They're going to have their next meeting at 1600. And
Ms. Debecki, we have been frustrated. There is more of a conspiracy going on here than we'd at first realized. We haven't found anything directly because it would seem they're covering each other up.
Well, you're talking about the Johnsons?
Yes.
They can barely stand each other.
Yeah, that might be what they've given you the impression of, and they may have done that on purpose.
What about the mutants outside?
Well, they've been sneaking. They have been the yellow has been letting them go, and encouraging them.
Well,
that gives them motivation to get rid of the security guy.
Yeah, Hudson liked to go out hunting, but I don't see what that is. I mean, do they have it? I don't think they can get in the facility. They can't pass for human.
We've been going through their rooms. We haven't found anything.
Okay, been going through. Do you mean you haven't investigated all of their habitations yet?
I actually wasn't part of that. They were.
I mean, you had the nerve to put your hands on me, and you haven't finished going through the clones' habitations? I have to make some calls. You can leave him here if you want. Go and find the data drive. We're really running out of time here. And your bonuses are flying out the window. Come on, why are you looking at me?
You seem to be under the impression that you get to continue trying to dictate how this is going to go.
Mr. Colton, do you think you sign your paycheck? Do you think you decide who gets a bonus should you succeed in this mission? Or do you think the corporation does, the corporation that I represent? I'm not going to be harmed. I'm not going to be threatened. I'm not going to be pushed around by the goons I hired to find a simple black box. If you don't like it, I will hire another set of goons. If those goons have to go through you to do their job, that's fine with me. The corporation has money, and you are not earning it. Do you understand? Do I make myself clear?
You sure are pushing us towards the clones a lot, and we have experience with these jobs. It's what we do. It's what we do well.
Yeah.
It's always you corporate shits behind it.
Okay.
And so all the deflecting and finger pointing you're doing is just making me think you're just another corporate shit.
Dr. Yoren, as the brains of this operation, you should maybe have a chat with these kids. Look, I am the one who called you. I'm the one who told corporate the data drive was missing. If I wanted to leave with the data drive, I would have left with the data drive.
Do you think that's the first time we've heard that kind of story? I'm the one that called you. I'm not the one who did it. I called you.
Yes,
nothing new.
You keep trying very vehemently to blame us for your problem, which is not our problem at all. We came here to help you solve a problem. We've
Yes.
had a murder. We've had,
You're all alive and fit as a fiddle, as far as I can tell.
and what if we weren't?
Whereas my employees, one of them is turned into a monster and then got his carapace blown open, and the other one has obviously been abused to no end. Look, I appreciate
You're defending
that,
the guy that's been stealing from your company and
You know,
selling it to the
I
highest
will
bidder.
certainly go over Alex's indiscretions. Alec might, in fact, be in violation of a significant contractual situation. But if he doesn't have the data drive, that's not a today problem. That's a corporate problem. You guys are supposed to fix this up and make it go away, right? If you can't do that, then you're not of value to me.
Well, then we need cooperation. We are going to gather all of this station's personnel into a single room.
Well, they're going to be in the canteen in about 30 minutes anyway. It's going to be 1600. I mean, nobody has refused. Has anybody refused to talk to you? In what way have I not cooperated? You looked at my goddamn shoes. I am not the problem here. Your hot-headed men are the problem here. The missing data drive is the problem here. Have you talked to the mutants in the jungle? What habitations haven't you searched? Do I need to maybe make a to-do list for you? Okay, enough. Go. I'll deal with him. If you want to see everybody in the staff, I'll be there too. It's only, again, about 40 minutes until 1600 hours. If somebody's missing, then we'll have a great clue, unless you strung them up or
That's
used a
probably our
toy
next
on them.
choice.
Doctor, may I suggest we reconvene and leave Director Debecki to her business?
I prefer that the whole station reconvenes now.
Okay. Dr. Yarn, you should be advised that if only one of your crew is really objectionable, that's going to affect everybody's compensation, just so you know. We can, go ahead, gather up the Johnsons.
We're not interested in your threats. We're
Nor
interested in
am
solving
I
the
interested in
problem.
his threats.
Well, you've become extremely abusive, and we will report that to corporate.
Oh, yes.
You're trying to blame us for your problem. You're trying to intimidate us, to manipulate us. We don't appreciate it, and we
Look,
will report it.
Please, do you not think everything that's been said in here has been recorded? We'll see what corporate thinks about who's threatened whom, for Christ's sakes. Okay, so you want to meet in the canteen? Let's go to the canteen. Maybe Dr. Yaron, you can patch up my stock boy?
I'm not that kind of a doctor.
Then I'll have one of the Johnsons look at him. After you.
All right, let's go.
So what are we hoping to achieve with collecting everyone in the same room?
We're going to collect them together. We're going to make sure they're not going to fucking move.
And then
And we're going to tear this place to pieces, and we're going to find that drive, and we're going to get out of here.
My suggestion is to confront each of them with the problems that we found in them. And they might start blabbing on one another. And if they don't, we'll just call it a loss.
The Poirot method. Let's get you a pipe.
Well, we'll just walk away.
That's Thom's.
And there's no reason why we can't just walk away. We don't get
there is. Mama needs a new pair of shoes. We need some money, boys.
Money? There's no amount of money that
here's the thing. These people ultimately care about the data drive. They do not give a shit about these clones. They do not give a shit about Alec. They do not give a shit about Debecki. They care about the data drive. So no matter how important
bingo
they all think that they are, they're not.
And it's outside in the jungle because the inside's already been searched.
Not all the way. But this will be much easier if we don't have to worry about them moving around and poisoning us with their serums.
Yeah, I mean, we already had
caused-
Debecki's already pissed at us. Get everybody else in the canteen, maybe even her.
Oh, her
There you
Keep
too.
go.
everybody
Yeah,
there,
definitely her.
and
Her,
then we
Alex, all of
search.
them.
Let's get the searching done, and then go outside and kill some bugs.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start going back through rooms we haven't gone through.
I just find that if the data was so important to them, why aren't there dozens of backups? That makes
There
no sense
were.
whatsoever.
There were.
I think
Everything's been erased.
we have identified multiple policy and procedure gaps in their system, and that's something we can provide as supplemental information, but that doesn't change our primary goal, which is retrieval of the drive.
Well,
Shall we
well, we
lock
can.
shall I activate a shutdown to lock the cafeteria?
Yes, we're
once
going to
they're
lock them all in
inside?
there.
Yeah.
So as you're filing out, you can hear Elizabeth Debecki on the intercom saying, "All staff, to the canteen. All staff to the canteen. We're having our internal court a little early this evening at the request of our visitors. All staff try to be there in 15."
I'm going to head towards the security center and let the team know I'll be ready to lock down the cafeteria once I receive your signal.
So, any other preparation before the assemblage?
Yeah, let's just make sure that we have everything's like zip tied.
Sure. I'm sure there was some useful neutral restraint in the stockroom that you could use, if not in the security area.
I think we should, we'll get there first. Let's make sure that Alec is presented front and center, kind of as a warning, so that they know something's up. Maybe they'll get a little afraid and spill the beans.
So are we planning on interrogating them or locking them in and checking the station, or locking them in and checking outside for the mutants?
I say we put them in there. We handcuff a couple of them together where they can't get away from each other. Then start tossing rooms or going outside or whatever. But just get them all together where, tensions will start rising. And
More, we can lock them in there, right?
I would imagine, lock the doors.
So we don't have to handcuff them. I mean, do we even have handcuffs?
It's just for discomfort.
I think that I don't imagine this facility has sort of a preset to bolt individual rooms from the security dome. If it did, Jasicki probably wouldn't have her own sort of panic button steel door. You can certainly set doors that are open to alpha, beta, and gamma to alpha from there, which would limit, mobility.
Can we also just take away their cards?
If you physically take away their cards, then they can't go anywhere.
But yeah, we could set the rooms to alpha, take away everybody's cards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, we do know. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I suggest a little psychological warfare. Turn the temperature up to 80, 85. Make them uncomfortable, but not really know why they're uncomfortable at first. Use intimidation tactics. I'm wondering if Petra and I shouldn't start searching. I'm not the interrogation type, but
I believe there are areas both inside the facility and certainly nobody's been outside the facility. So
Well, sometimes it's one of those things where if you just walk around the facility and you think, if I was going to hide something, what's a good place to hide it? That vent up there and this. Look in
Do
those
we have a
places,
list of the
obviously.
places we haven't searched?
I know the habitations. We haven't searched magenta, cyan, black, and blue, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you,
Okay.
Doc. Let's head to those 3 rooms and
Right.
toss them while everybody's in the main
Make them
room.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
The rest of the guys can do what they're gonna do, and then we'll meet up later.
Okay. So you, having made your plans, separate. Moore is headed back into the outer area. The rest of you, that both the canteen and the habs are in the H sector, not the L sector. Moore, you'll you have the farthest to go coming from Debecki's office. Because you have to, exit the hab and go into the outer area. Dameron and Chauncey, when you get to the canteen, there's nobody there yet. But of course, even if the Johnsons stopped what they were doing right away, they've still got to go through the decontamination center to get there. So that'll probably be a few minutes. So we'll start with Petra and Dr. Yaren. Who's next? Or where?
Well, let's go straight to magenta. And there's going to be obvious places you'd hide something like a drawer. That's least under a desk is a better hiding place. Behind something. So we're going to tear it apart.
Yeah, as people who have been doing this kind of work, we're assuming that all of the searches that have happened so far have involved is it taped under a drawer, knocking on the panels to see if there's anything hollow, that sort of thing. You don't require a crowbar to leave no stone unturned, relatively speaking.
Sure.
You get to Magenta's habitation and use your key, and it opens up, and it's a little larger than the other habitations that you've been in. I guess only Petra's done this route. It's larger than Green's, say, by a fair amount. It looks barely touched. The bed is made. There are some lab coats in a closet. There are no personal effects. It doesn't really look like Magenta uses this habitation.
So he's a neat freak, but
quick search.
Yeah. And we'll look in all of the...
The quick search suggests that he's not actually a neat freak because there's a light layer of dust on everything.
Oh,
that's interesting.
Maybe a little intramural excitement in the evenings.
Well, that certainly is disturbing.
Or maybe he's the one that's taking everything outside. Hey, Moore. Make sure you guys keep a close eye on Magenta.
What is I've probably asked this before, what is the size of this drive? Is it a little thing like that?
It was described as like a deck of cards, although none of you actually have ever seen a deck of cards outside of a hollow film.
About this size, yeah.
Yeah. It's not, it's slightly irregular, it's just a little, but it's not bulky. You could if you carried it in a lab coat pocket, it would maybe look a little obtrusive. If you put it in a backpack, it would be invisible. I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier, more. I actually has a question. Are you going to the security area or the computer nerve center to do your
computer nerve center where I could do my computer thing?
I think that's why I thought you were going to the outer shell, because probably if you're going to change access codes, that's going to actually be in security, not in the nerve center.
All right, security
more data processing than. Okay, so we're still where we were. I just wanted to get that straight. So yeah, you pat down Magenta's room, and it's he doesn't seem to stay here. That's
Okay.
all, nothing
We'll
to show for it.
we'll still do it in case. So that's another little mystery that we've got to solve. But yeah, I don't find anything here. Let's move on to who's next. Did you say Cyan that you haven't checked?
Yeah, Cyan was not checked.
All right, Cyan's room.
And who's the third one?
Black
Cyan,
and blue.
yeah, cyan, blue, and black have not. They're the remaining ones.
So you go into Cyan's. You're trying to.
Yeah.
They were alphabetical, so you're trying to psych them out by switching up the order. I don't know how we missed Cyan before. I guess we weren't alphabetical very long. There was an intention at one point to be alphabetical.
You were going by colors of the rainbow, I thought.
Oh, that's why. Right.
Oh, I thought they were completely random. Magenta, green, cyan, yellow, red, blue, and black.
So you go into Cyan's habitation unit, and that's it's interesting because they all however the company rewards them for their efforts, they all live more or less the same, right? Cyan's room has a couple of shelves of actual pulp paper books, which are things one doesn't see very often. It's he's got some historical fiction stuff that goes back to the 20th century or earlier. He's got books on he's got some old books on genetics and biology that must just be sort of for intellectual history interests. Philosophy, philology. He's got a couple of dictionaries for foreign languages that aren't spoken as far as anymore.
Are the pulps mysteries, murder mysteries?
No, it's you're not used to seeing pulped paper.
Oh, I see.
Actual physical books, not.
He's some
So
kind of
he's not
freak
reading
like them
Agatha
all.
Christie.
He's just a reader's so much easier. Why would anybody use this stuff?
He's
And
not
they're
a collector of
expensive,
antiques.
and they have to be
Bizarre.
shipped.
Yeah,
It's
Doc, flip through the pages. See if there's anything in there while I browse the rest of this room.
These just look like esoteric knowledge books.
Yeah, I mean, they smell a little funny. You're not used to handling such things.
But I will riffle them to see if there's a pocket in the middle of them where the data drive is hidden.
Yeah, quite reasonably. It would be, I mean, it's conspicuous, right? Because so few people have these things lying around. They appear to be well maintained. There aren't annotations. And yeah, they're just books. It's hard to tell whether they're well handled by him or whether they're just so old that they have that look of, some discoloration on the fronts
They've
and
got
so on.
a nano coating on them that preserves them but keeps them airtight. And
I mean, they probably do require some kind of,
otherwise they would have crumbled to
care.
dust by now.
Or they've been deacidified. His bed is made. He doesn't have a lot of sort of obvious personal effects, other than these, this peculiar fetish for antique materials.
Makes me wonder about Richard, the original, if they've each got bits and pieces of his personality. Doesn't it seem odd? I mean, the books, for example, where would he even know about the books if he's been here his whole life that he'd be interested? It's odd. I check under the pillow. I check under the mattress.
So why don't you both give me an intelligence roll to see how astute your search is?
Got an 11 out of 57.
No, I had a failure and it's a 92, so my stress goes up, right?
Yes, it does. Um, and any not that you're worried about what these freaks think, but any sense that nobody been poking around in here is ruined because you drop one of the books on the floor and the spine cracks, and it's like, oh, it's you're gonna notice that. You also notice that the books are pretty much the only thing here that is dusted. They're quite pristine. And in fact, as Dr. Yarin is noting that and looking around, you notice that there are some scuff marks on the floor, a little bit of disarrayed dust there. And you poke about, and you realize that that's what's scuffed the floor. The distance between the scuffs matches his desk chair. And you look at where they are, and above where that scuff ends, there's a ventilation panel in the ceiling.
Does it look like he's used his chair to check that, to stick something in that vent? Yeah, let's
Or
move
to
his
climb
desk
up in the
over.
vents to escape?
Or to hide the data drive.
Yeah,
Let's help me move the desk over so that it's easier to get up there.
sure. Yeah, yeah. I assume I'm probably taller than the doc since I'm a teamster.
Seems quite likely. And you might want a stronger support under you for the same reason.
Probably have a
Yeah.
screwdriver too.
I'm sure I have a multi-tool somewhere. It's not on my list, but
Yeah, I mean, it's just part of the standard Teamster kit. In fact, one of the screws in the ventilation thing, or the futuristic screw equivalent, is looser than the others. And you pop that baby open and you shine a little pen light around in there, and you see nothing but ventilation system. However, you do see the sort of dust bunny indication that something was shoved up there, displacing the regular matter and moved around.
Temporary.
like enough that's it looks like somebody's been climbing around in the vents, or just
A person couldn't get in here, and there
Okay.
aren't anything like little footprints. It looks like
Okay.
somebody put in a box or a book
or a
or
data drive, or
something bigger than a data drive, but not
oh,
enormous.
something bigger than a data drive.
Potentially.
It could have
yeah.
been in a
Yeah.
box. And then
This was definitely a hiding place, Doc. He was putting something here, but
Yeah.
hey, more. Is there, do they have video cameras in the Johnsons' rooms?
Do they have video cameras?
All of the security cameras are to public areas. There
Okay.
are no security
That
cameras
makes
in the
sense.
habitations or the
Yeah.
lavatories or
Yeah. They're human rights. Yeah. That makes sense. They are
they have-
people.
their contracts include some kind of note
Yeah.
toward dignity. Speaking
just
of
thought I'd
which,
check.
more you answered that question. You've made your way out to the outer sector of the facility, and you're in the security area, and the security camera board is fried. Since you guys visited here last, someone else has been in here, and they have taken the equivalent of Chauncey's electro water toy, some other mechanism, and cooked the camera banks from where they operate. So the cameras might still be operable, but they're feeding into nothing.
Are there any other terminals or panels that are usable for me to track, I guess, access? So what I want to do is, now that I know everyone should be in the cafeteria, I want to see if there's any movement in the perimeter, especially from like the external doors or anything that indicate there's movement at all, except the cafeteria and where I know the two teammates are.
You might well anticipate that that Johnsons are still making their way toward the cafeteria.
Right,
So if we exclude some movement around the labs,
right.
in the direction of the canteen,
Yep.
and noting that all you can tell is whether it's an alpha, beta, or gamma card. Um, so yeah, you'll keep an eye on that. There's going to be definitely progression that's going to be a little bit hard
Right
to.
into the cafeteria, I would
Yeah.
expect. But if there's
Yeah.
anything outside, I would then immediately alert the team that there's more, habitants than we expected, and they might be
Mhm.
hostile.
Good. Okay, so you've got your eye on that. And
That
you're
might be
also figuring out how to, manipulate the individual doors as you poke about in there. Yes,
But
Dr.
they-
Yarn?
I was just saying, so then it's likely that the ones on the outside are in league somehow with the ones on the inside. Petra, you're probably right. They could have passed the drive to the outer Johnsons.
Or there's somebody that gets along really well with the outer Johnsons. Say perhaps somebody who doesn't sleep in their bed at night, and
Yeah.
is trying to use this to get money to set their people free.
It doesn't look like the Cyan spends much time in his room either. There's small layer of dust. He does some things. The books he seems to be very concerned with, but well, this is something
And then
we found.
what's
I'm not sure.
what's Cyan been hiding? That's
Yeah, sure.
probably key, but we'll just keep that in mind. Use your little gray cells, Doc.
Let's move on to
On to
blue and
blue,
black. Blue.
whichever one's closer.
Okay. Uh, Blue is right there. As you use the alpha card, it opens up. It's a little cooler than the passageway outside. At this point, Chauncey and Dameron, the first two of the Johnsons have shown up. They are, shaking off the little foam from the decontamination center, and it's yellow and blue. And Blue says, "Did you summon us because you've solved it? Are we all clear? Is everything all right? Have you figured out who killed Hudson? What kind of progress you've made?"
Have a seat, both of you.
Ah, I see. I see.
Are Debecki and Alex in here?
Yeah, they followed you.
Yeah.
And in fact, Yellow will look over at Alec and be like, "Oh, my poor boy, what have they done to you? Oh, look at that. Good heavens." And he does the eyeball thing and says, You were beaten and shocked? What is this all about?" And Debecki says, "Turns out we got a Fink among us." And Yellow sort of looks mournfully at both of them and goes to the auto chef to get some ice.
I start playing around with the temperature while this is happening.
Yeah, I don't imagine that the HVAC system at the facility has like increased discomfort as a sort of like red lever.
Maximize. That's our job.
Turn the dial.
More
Okay.
wrote a subroutine for it.
Right.
Exactly. Constantly, goes between 160 repeatedly.
What? So in Blue's room, again, like I said, it's a little cooler than the ambient temperature. It's the bed is made. In fact, it's got hospital corners. There is no dust on the floor in here. He has he has some where the books were on Cyan's shelf. He's got a couple of little glass baubles, uh, like paperweights with abstract color forms inside them. Um, when you open up his clothes closet, in addition to several lab coats with blue piping and his trousers neatly folded over and pulled down over hangers, there's a couple of um, plastic crates of spare stationery and several boxes of pens. Um, and on the shelf above that, there's an extra little plastic rack of glass cleaning product and spray bottles.
I'll riffle through the paper, the stationery, and I will open up the boxes of pens just to make sure it's not stuck in one of those.
And did you say glass cleaning supplies?
Yeah, Windex.
Hmm.
Like 16 bottles in a little plastic tray.
They
That's
are strange, aren't they?
odd. I'm gonna sniff one of the bottles to see if it smells like what it's labeled as.
Yeah, no, it smells like glass cleaning fluid. In fact, it's got a little plastic seal on it. You have to
I can't
pop
believe
open.
you're drinking something that looks like Windex after describing it.
For science. If you look into his little ensuite lavatory, also like the under cabinet beneath the sink has like a lot of like strong soap and 3 extra packets
Need
of
free.
razors.
Antiseptic. Well, antiseptic. Yeah, he wants to make sure.
And his mirror is perfectly clean.
Yeah, there's never no toothpaste has ever splashed on that mirror, as far as you can tell.
Well, that's not unreasonable for a person who's working on stuff like he's working on.
But I would like you to do another intelligence roll check there, Mr. Dr. Yaren. Petra 2, no harm.
33
Okay.
out of 57.
Mhm.
I also succeeded.
Excellent.
Petra, there's a panel at the base of the tub shower that slides open, and it's chock full of more cleaning supplies.
Why is he hiding cleaning supplies?
I don't know.
Freaks gonna be freaks, Doc. Freaks gonna be freaks.
I'm wondering if the original had OCD or something like that. They all seem to be exhibiting little bits of obsessive compulsive disorder.
It is striking. The other thing, as you're flipping through the unused paper pads and whatnot, Dr. Yaren, you do find one sheet of paper at the back of one of these flip pads that has a schematic on it. It's got some carefully incised dark lines describing essentially, the handwriting's hard to make out, but the measurements are very clear. It's a design for a very basic weapon that's essentially a syringe on an extendable pole with a little trigger at the base of the pole so that you could send a syringe away from you, perhaps almost as a meter, and still use the plunger at a distance.
I don't understand this completely because I don't read schematics so well, but Petra, you do. What's this look like to you? Some sort of weapon, or
Yeah, let me take a look at it.
what they would use to subdue a hostile whatever? Who knows?
I am skilled in industrial equipment.
I think your
Jury
general,
rigging.
Yeah, your jury rigging and Teamster's common sense is more to the point here. This is definitely an improvised weapon devised by somebody who doesn't have access normally to weapons. It
Mhm.
clearly only has offensive capability, but it would not be hard to make with materials that you've seen commonly available around the station.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that scientists can make shit that can hurt each other, whether it's chemical or physical.
What if
Yeah,
they're
and we consider that it's a syringe, depending on what's in that syringe.
Right, right.
I mean, they could use this to be doing experiments on the mutants outside.
What killed Hudson again?
Clones.
I mean, Hudson, we assume, was dosed with the mutagenic serum already before he was dosed with Red's
More.
private stock.
So this could be it, right?
No one inspected Hudson's body for pinpricks, nor in fact was his coffee cup retrieved.
Well, he
We're
never-
bad investigators.
Well, we were
We
kind
did
of
an
shocked at the
autopsy.
moment.
Wait,
And the
we
autopsy
did an
was mostly
autopsy,
Red
Yes.
and Moore did an autopsy. I mean,
and they didn't look for pinpricks?
Well, his body transformed. It.
Oh, true. Good point.
Yeah.
he'd,
the whole
he'd been
thing-
through a lot by the time they.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Red was mostly interested in looking at his big brain.
And we know that there
Um,
was no moment when he suddenly called out as if he got poked. So I think he probably ingested it in his coffee. It works either way. But this looks like something you would use to get something that you don't want to get too close to. So
Right,
if there's
right.
if there's
And then the
clones-
syringe would be left behind, right?
if there's mutant clones out there, maybe the doctors are trying to figure out a way to fix the problems.
Yeah, I mean, they have to think of them as their brothers. I don't buy that.
Not all of
shit.
them, but I think that Yellow does. I think Yellow is very
Yeah, but this is
sympathetic
blue.
towards them. Well, he might have. I think there's a conspiracy. I don't know.
That's what
I
I'm
haven't
saying.
seen- I
At
suppose we
least
should
some
do.
of them.
I suppose we should try to do what the old detectives in those books do, and that's not to make any judgments, just lay out the facts and see if there's something there.
Now, do we leave this here?
Well, no, bring it with us because we can
It's just
say,
a schematic. It's not it's not
Right.
a weapon.
Oh, just
Right.
yeah.
but
take the schematic.
we can say what
Well,
were you working
We
on?
we can take a photo or something like the equivalent of using our cell phones to take a photo of it, right?
I mean, we can,
Absolutely.
but why? Just bring it with us.
Well, I mean, it's his, right? We don't know there's anything wrong with it.
No, but we want to be able to confront them in that room and say, "What's this?
Okay.
What's this? Explain
All right.
this. Explain that."
All right,
If they
Doc.
don't explain it, then
You're the guy with the big
All right.
brain. Let's
let's
go.
go on to Black.
Black. Last one, right?
Yeah, the only one that I really didn't think could have done it because, I mean, he's only got up to go in here.
Black is the new black.
By this time, the canteen, magenta and green have shown up, and magenta's like, you know, we have a schedule here. We had a meeting planned for it. It's only 20 minutes away now. I don't understand, unless you have something urgent to tell us, why we had to be summoned in ahead of schedule. Have you made progress of any sort?
Just have a seat with the rest of them.
I see your manner hasn't improved very well. And Green will be like, I'm going to get a beverage before I sit down, if that is perfectly all right with you, gentlemen. Yeah, and he goes over and maybe it's tea. I don't know, some beep boop on the auto chef. Something hot, he's blowing on it.
We're all waiting
Uh,
to see if he-
I want them all at one table.
So you go into Black's habitation unit. It's as messy as Blue's is tidy. There are spare parts of various mechanisms scattered over the room, and various partially constructed or maybe deconstructed mechanical devices. Some things with some wiring visible, some not.
Black takes his work home with him. I respect that.
Yeah, and he's sort of in addition to the regular desk area where the terminal is, and he's got he's rigged some sort of side tables and things, got some stools. Like it looks like he spends more of his time in his hab than most of them do, because there's a lot of sort of ongoing stuff. It smells slightly like machine oil and cleaning fluid.
Does it look more like my kind of junk or the doc's kind of junk?
It, relatively speaking, looks like your kind of junk. Like,
okay.
He's as interested in mechanisms as he is in biological systems.
Let me go through this, Doc, and you look at the rest of the place.
Yeah. I'll hit all the same places, including now the vent up above, just to see.
All right, let's have some more searches. See if we can get some more doubles, Doc.
I got
What?
68 this time, which is above my intellect.
Mm-hmm.
Since this is my area,
You
can
want to
I
add
use
your jury rig?
rigging?
Sure.
All right. Yeah, I succeeded. I got a 32.
Very good. So the first thing you notice in that regard is that in addition to the scent of machine oil and cleaning agents, there's residue in here of blasting agents. He's playing with explosives.
He's
There's
trying to blow
nothing.
something up, Doc. The explosives
That's
aren't
not
here,
good.
though, I'm guessing. Right? Warning?
What? Sorry?
It's just traces of explosives, not
Traces
actual
of
boom
explosives,
juice.
but of course that makes you sort of, that gets your hackles up when you look around.
Yeah.
It looks like his personal computer terminal is booby trapped.
Ah. Hey,
Hey,
Moore, what are you up to?
Hello, Petra. I am currently monitoring the station for unauthorized access. How may I help you?
Looks like Black's done a little fiddly flammely with his computer, his terminal here. It's jury rigged. Maybe you and I could take a look at it together and see if we could kind of unwind this thing so we could see what he's trying to hide.
Absolutely, Petra. I would be more than glad to help you. Clank, clank, clank. And
Anything-
where they are.
anything you want to do more about the security area before you leave that area? And go back
Probably
into the
set a
HAPS unit?
monitor so that if the outer doors are accessed, I would get alerted. And then that would be the only thing I can do. Yeah.
Sounds good. Um, mm, mm, mm. Uh, Chauncey Dameron, while you're waiting for the rest of the clones to show up, any snacks, intentions, plans?
I'm currently doing what the kids would call aura farming. I'm sitting looking very menacing, making an obvious show that I am heavily armed.
Yeah.
And I'm intentionally not saying anything. If we're doing good cop, bad cop, I mean, as much as Chauncey's the good cop, so to speak, doing the talking. I'm just
Yellow has put a little butterfly bandage on the tiny divot in Alec's chin, and gotten a little chill pack for it, and gotten him something from the auto chef that has a lot of electrolytes in it, and brushed his wet hair back soothingly, And Magenta is having a really hard time not tutting audibly. And he keeps looking at the canteen clock because, after all, the meeting's about to start anyway, that was planned before you guys showed up.
So who is missing? We've got yellow's here, magenta's here.
Blue and green have shown up. Red, black, and cyan are actually, as you are tallying, red comes in, and he's been through the decontamination zone also, but he's still sort of fiddling with his cuticles. And he strides in and says, I suppose Alex confessed by now. Is that it? Is that why we're calling it a little early? I never liked you, son. I have to admit it. You're handy in a pinch, but shameful. I'm surprised you haven't beaten him up more, although he does look a little bit like a drowned rat.
Why don't you have a seat next to him?
Are you piloting the shuttle out of here in a few hours, or do you have a driver?
Someone dropped us off.
Mm-hmm. Good thing for the rest of you. I can't imagine you're any more competent at that. He sniffs. Moore comes into Black's habitation. Mind your step, because there's, bits of stuff on the floor as well. Metal, shiny black metal things and whatnot. Petra, I assume you've been disarming the booby trap on his computer?
I'm taking a good look at it, and if I feel confident in my ability without Moore's help, I'll start working on it. Otherwise, I'll wait for more.
Okay. It looks like tampering with the booby trap might affect the computational ability of the terminal.
Yeah.
So
I'll wait for more, and we can put our heads together.
good. Moore,
Might
do
be
you
able
want to roll intelligence with your hacking bonus?
Absolutely. I'll also stand closer or in front of the terminal to Petra so that if it blows, I'll take the brunt of it.
Can I
I'm gonna
help
go check
with
the hallway.
my jury rigging or mechanical repair and give more an advantage or anything?
Sure. Moore, roll with an advantage die.
Alrighty. So
He's been looking
first-
at it. Petra's been considering it ahead of time, so she's given you some tips.
Okay. First roll was a 64, which would have failed just by a little. The second one was 52, so pass with my
Nice.
plus 15 bonus. Yeah.
Teamwork. Very good. All right. So you hack in, you bypass, and you can turn off the booby trap once you're in. So you don't have to worry about where you poke around. And he's got some very mundane looking files that you check and seem that they are mundane. And then you've sort of there's something that says miscellaneous, and you open that, and there's something that has a long number on it that looks like it's boring, and you open that, and then you find the folder. And it's
That's coincidentally how I hide most of my other things personally, but that's besides the point.
And what you find is that he's hidden a very large file of an old biopic called Delay, Deny, and Depose. He apparently is a media fetishist. And as far as you can tell, there's nothing else of interest on his mainframe.
If I look around, do I notice any devices similar to the signal bypass thing that I saw?
You see that he has components that are consistent with that device. Yes.
Okay.
You don't see like a half of one of those, but you see like part of a hatch mechanism that's been torn open, and the casing from that could very well have been on the bypass unit
Okay.
that you uncovered and disabled. Yes.
And if we look through the first 5 pages of the biop or the book and this wonderful details about insurance claims, is it just us text, or are there side notes or commentaries that Black might have added to the body of the text?
To delay, deny, and depose.
Delay, deny, defend. Yeah.
It's a movie. It's an old movie. And you do scan it for like a hidden
I thought
data
you meant
packet.
the book.
No, it's a biopic. It's a
Okay.
It's a big file that's an old movie.
Okay.
And you do scan it for a hidden data packet, and you find nothing. It looks like he just has a real thing for that movie and doesn't want anyone to know.
Okay. What's the movie about? Like
It's a political biopic, about homeworld politics like 200 years ago. You don't recognize anybody's names.
Okay.
Maybe the first Dick Johnson remembered this historical event, or
okay, it wasn't themed in any way about slavery, oppression, like the not mutant right, but like that kind of thing.
It's the politics are obscure to you. Think the Teapot Dome scandal, or imagine what people would think of as Watergate in 200 years.
Right, you really have to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Yarn?
But why rig the whole thing up to blow up somebody who discovers it? That seems pretty insane. I mean, I think they are insane, but
the Johnsons seem to have some privacy issues. Maybe it has to do with always being around 6 at least of themselves.
Copies. Yeah, we can't begin to understand the psychology of these things.
Yeah. Around this time, Black and Cyan come in. And
we're probably heading there too. So
yeah, actually, yeah. I guess if Moore wants to set, I assume you did something remotely so you could push the jolly red button that now makes all of the exits from the canteen alpha only.
Right. Or maybe I said it to begin with, right? Because
make sure that says
alpha whole exit, I guess, because you wanted the
right.
To get there.
Well, and they're going to take the carts anyway, so it won't really matter in theory.
Okay, so we all convene in the canteen. The Johnsons, Magenta says, I think I can speak for us all at this point, that this is, despite the unfortunate incident that happened to Officer Hudson, that this entire situation has been very disruptive. And we hope that you've figured out what you need to figure out and can board the shuttle that's coming in a couple of hours and leave us to our business, because frankly, I don't think any of us is getting a proper day's work done.
That is correct. Your work for the day is, as of now, over.
Well,
my associate Chauncey will be going around to collect all of your access cards.
I don't think that's an order whatsoever. I don't know. Debecki? And Eric is like, temporary. They think they're in charge. It'll blow over. I can issue new cards if they're going to be a pain in the ass about it. And there's a little bit of a general uproar, and some milling about and muttering.
We're going to ask you all some questions, and We expect solid, truthful answers. We have uncovered quite a few things that you Johnsons have been secretly fiddling around with, your predilections, if you will. The only way to get to the truth is to have the truth. So most likely, if you lie to us, we're going to know you're lying. First of all, yellow. How many Johnson mutants are outside?
I'm not certain.
Well, you've been letting them go.
I've helped some leave the facility. Generally, they leave on their own. Sadly, when something goes awry, usually our brothers are, euthanized. Sometimes Red cuts them up first or second. But
Well,
just because I don't want them to starve in the jungle doesn't mean that they're interested in data drives. They're not, capable of working here, or they'd work here with us.
well, Red has devised some sort of tranquilizer or uh, mutant gun, whatever you want to call it. Uh, we suspect at this point that it's highly likely that the drive has been moved from this facility out of this facility, which means our next procedure is going to be having to hunt down all of the outside Johnsons and possibly exterminate them. And I'm looking for a reaction in the Johnsons.
Red's a little indignant about your accusation of some sort of mutant gun.
We hold up the paper.
Was that
Oh.
red, or was that blue?
Yeah, Red sort of shakes his head at you, looking
Yeah, it was
more
Sorry.
supercilious than usual.
Sorry, blue. Pretend I said blue instead of red.
the doc knew.
Yellow says, our Wilder Johnson brethren are, just trying to get by, and they don't come in the facility, and they haven't done you any harm. So if you, want to go out and hunt them down like animals, the way that ridiculous Hudson did, I'll just warn you, they are not all defenseless. So, and you don't know the jungle, and I don't, it's not going to help you with your job. So I think once again, you're barking up the wrong tree.
You've been letting dangerous mutants out into the jungle. I'm not sure that you understand that it's not us that would exterminate them. We can have them exterminated from outer space. We can burn the jungle down.
I don't know why you people need to be as unpleasant as you are. And I don't know what business you have threatening to defoliate this moon because you can't find some data file that somebody misplaced. But, you're the ones who don't belong here. This is our place. You are the outsiders, and you'll be gone soon, and we'll go on with our business. And Magenta says, they'll only be gone soon if they find the damn thing or are called off. I imagine that after another fatality or some other substantial injuries, Debecki will have no choice but to call them off. I imagine that they could find an automated system that would be more successful at finding the data drive than these buffoons in the first place.
Magenta, why don't you sleep in your room?
If there were any justice at all, when this is all over with, my brothers and I, would come around and poke in your personal habitations and see what peccadillos you have.
It's our
Fact
job.
is, I'm very devoted to my work. I spend a great deal of time in my office as the supervisor, and it's more convenient to sleep there than to truckle off to my habitation every evening. Would you like photographs of me sleeping in a chair? Would that satisfy you? I don't know why we brought idiots in.
I'm not sure I buy that.
Well, I could
I
could
mean,
buy that
once in
once or
a
twice,
while,
but
yeah,
not every single night. You haven't been in your
long
room.
enough for there to be a thick layer of dust.
And to come up with questions to ask.
Dr. Johnson, the Black Dr. Johnson, we've been looking into your room, as we mentioned, and we noticed that your computer system appears to be very well protected with some rather explosive mechanisms.
Well,
Is that within code?
sorry.
Is that appropriate? Lethal explosive devices to protect your system? Do the
Believe
other
it or not,
Johnsons know? I look around to see how they react to that.
there's some eye rolling. Believe it or not, Android, I didn't prepare my habitation to be poked at and prodded by a bunch of off-worlders. If you burnt your fingertips nosing around, it would be no skin off my nose.
Who were you protecting your predilection for old movies from?
Well, I find the most effective way to get a priceless data drive off a moon is by making a copy of it onto a biopic from 180 years ago, and then beaming that through the ether with my psychic powers. So, you caught me.
Dr. Red, have you developed psychic powers through your serum?
He's diverting. He's using sarcasm.
Sarcasm.
Or you saw what Hudson's brain looked like. If he'd lived, he might have developed any number of capacities, who can say.
That is true. It seemed a most
Sadly,
engorged.
Well,
it was a very, very large organ.
it seems to me that probably our recommendation to Miss Debecki is that you find yourself a new team of scientists and you replace these old defective clones that seem to be malfunctioning seriously. You told me when we arrived that they were quite strange. They're probably way more strange than you think they are. They've got secrets. They're willing to blow people up for those secrets, possibly murder people for those secrets.
Green
And to
says,
keep the
I've been telling Miss Debecki and people at Janus for some time that there's some inefficiency and some eccentricity among the Johnsons here. Not all of us are very disordered in our thinking. But the fact is that genius comes with a degree of eccentricity. I wouldn't expect any of you normies to understand or appreciate that. But we're doing work here that no one else is doing. We're vital to Janus's function. And it's not just our DNA, and it's not just the memory banks. We raise each other into this system. You can't eliminate us and start from scratch and not lose the entirety of our project.
Dr. Magenta, have you been able to decode Dr. Green's journal?
Frankly, I have not spent a great deal of time trying to undermine my brother's little security system. I think it's not a simple substitution code. I think there's probably a required source text to actually break it down into something. However, I have somewhat analyzed the patterns in it, and I'm fairly certain that it's just a diary.
Huh?
Um, who's who was it? Cyan who had the vent thing? Um, I'll turn to Cyan. Cyan, what was hidden in your vent above your desk?
Hmm. I don't know what you've got hidden in your event. I'm sorry. You're suggesting so you were poking around in my room, there weren't explosives, and so what did you determine? What's the
You
important
had
thing?
something hidden, something in a box hidden up in your vent.
It's quite
Something about the size
obvious.
of a data drive.
Larger than a data drive.
Well, the box that it was in is be bigger.
Mm. So you entered my habitation. You
Which we were authorized by
well,
Miss Debecki to
which you
do.
were authorized to do, and we were all warned that you'd be poking about, and you were not intelligent enough to read any of the literature that I had collected over the years, despite the
Actually, I
fact that I
read
have
some of
some
it.
remarkable works in there, dating back to the core world enlightenment. Very interesting material, frankly. And instead, you poked around in my vent, and you found that there wasn't something there. And so now I'm in trouble for not having something in my vent. I
That's a
really,
diversion. There was something in your vent. The dust was completely disturbed. We could see that you had moved your desk in order to climb up there. What was hidden in your vent?
Repeatedly, something you're taking up, taking down over and over and over.
well, my brothers are not as nosy as you people are, but some of them can be a bit inquisitive. And so some of the literature that I've collected, I keep stashed away so that it isn't poked about in. That's all.
Where is it now?
I didn't want you to disturb it either, so I put it elsewhere.
What type of
Where
literature
where
is it,
is
though?
that elsewhere? Hold on just a second more. Where is that elsewhere?
I don't think you're going to be able to make a new copy of the serum using my copy of Lady Chatterley's Lover, so it's really none of your concern.
Well, it actually is. If something
Yeah.
can be hidden where nobody can find it, that could be a hint to where the data drive is. And why don't you want to tell us? You just told everybody what it was that you've been hiding. So why don't you want to tell us where you hid it?
Books can be hollowed out. Data drives can be hidden inside them.
Don't you have a shuttle to catch or something? I mean, have you even been to the water storage facility? Have you looked in Magenta's office? Have you gone
Yes.
outside into the jungle? I
Have
don't think
you
you've.
failed to answer my question? Yes. Where did you hide whatever it is that you were hiding in the vent?
It's in a storage cabinet next to the in the room with the the mutants. I figured nobody would spend any more time than they had to, so I thought that would be the safest place for it.
Who searched there?
You, Dameron, and Yaren went to the
And we didn't
specimen
see
lab.
that. We didn't see a book.
He's just recently moved it.
What do you think, guys? Should we take him there
Well,
and
no,
have him
no, I
show
want them
us?
all confined here, but you can go there and check.
If people
I-
decide and decided
Is
that
that is that enough detail though for me to know what he's talking about?
It's not. I mean, the room isn't exceptionally large or complicated.
And I've been there,
Yeah.
so
Is there a number on the locker
or the
It's-
cabinet or
cabinet?
No, it's just storage. You're really going to lock us all in the canteen? Oh, I am rather hungry though. You're gonna lock us all in the canteen and go and get a copy of a 18th century novel because it's that interesting to you, or because you have failed that thoroughly to learn anything of use?
For some
Well-
reason, everybody here just expected this data drive that has gone missing to have just been found by lunchtime, but that's apparently not how things are going to go, nor have they gone. So I'm tired with your attitude. I'm tired with this notion about how it is that we're doing our jobs. If you didn't want the fucking goons to show up and fuck your shit up, you shouldn't have fucked with the data drive. So guess what? The corporation values that more than any other goddamn person in this room. And as we've been going on our rounds, whoever has stolen the data drive has killed Hudson and has sabotaged the security equipment. So no, nobody could be trusted to move around the facility except for me and my team. So yes, you are all going to be locked in here happily together until we find this drive and get the fuck out of here. You think we want to be here? No. So if one of you feels like confessing, great, please do so. Chauncey, please start zip tying them together so we can get the fuck on with our lives.
I'm going to
Absolutely.
search where he told me to search.
Yeah.
I'm out of there.
Here's also what's going to happen. When the shuttle arrives, and if we haven't found the drive, we're shutting down this whole operation. We have no other choice. None of you can be trusted.
I zip tie red to Alec for sure.
As Dameron gives his order, as it were, and there's a hue and cry, Petra heads toward the lab facilities. Cyan says, "No, you don't want to be here." And Cyan pulls from his lab coat an unfolding, a small unfolding device. It's a dart rifle.
I would like to shoot him.
And so we're going to have, I guess, an opposed roll.
All right.
See, I guess, what should it be?
Well, I have combat plus military training and firearms.
Yeah, okay. Good luck, Johnson. Oof.
Yeah, I pass.
Okay. So he pulls out the
dart gun.
the dark gun, and before he can level it, you shoot him, roll damage. This is Hudson's gun you're using?
This is my gun that I'm using.
What is that?
40-10.
Right.
So I dealt 15.
Okay. So he is wounded. Let's see how that goes. He's certainly going to drop the foldable serum gun. You get him in the gut, and there's a significant spray of blood. So you've done some significant organ damage, and you've hit a major blood vessel as well. So he falls to one knee and is bleeding.
How did the other Johnsons react?
Abject terror and disgust. They don't like violence. Yeah. He's one of theirs. There's some screeching, some rearing back.
More secure that gun.
Yep, I'm going to go and pick up the gun and also, I guess, apply my hand on the bloody wound, if I can.
Good. No. Let Green do it.
All right, it's not really my yellow. Help me. And he says, "Oh, for God's sakes, yes." And they go over. Moore picks up the gun. It's got one yellow-green syringe ready to shoot. It's got two more that could be slid up from the handle. So he had 3 doses of serum on him. And you hear over the general hubbub a sharp cracking noise. And some more blood and some serum spills from Cyan's mouth in a mixture. And Yellow and Red are trying to, stuff something against his wound, but he's writhing on the floor.
So he's actively mutating right now?
Not that you can see yet.
He's spewing.
Seems like he's about to be.
Dameron, may I suggest you
I'm gonna just,
there? Yeah, and then I walk away from them.
I'm just standing back. I'm going to just put around it through his head, through his chest, just going to eviscerate whatever body tissue is there before he mutates.
Okay.
Careful, we don't want to get splashed.
You're going to have to roll with a disadvantage, what with the general chaos, of course.
Yeah. Gentlemen, I'm not so sure that he's going to
the disadvantage
mutate.
I missed. I think 52 plus 15 is 67 plus. Yeah, I missed by 2.
There's a really there are a couple of unpleasant sounds. One of them is a bunch of Johnsons really freaking out. The other is a sort of a rending, stretching sort of sound that is echoing around the canteen as Cyan sort of twists onto his knees, and you begin to see extensions of his bone stretch out through his skin and his lab coat and his clothing.
I took a pulse rifle. I'd like to shoot him.
Clarification.
Mm-hmm.
Dameron shot Cyan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And Cyan is now mutating.
Yes.
Seems like he had a vial in his mouth that he bit down on or something.
Or maybe yellow or green shoved one in his mouth. Who knows?
No, it came from his mouth.
Yeah, I think he bit down on something. It's like because we heard a crack. But I'd like to shoot him now.
Mm-hmm. Roll again with a disadvantage because of the mayhem. You've got other Johnsons running to and fro. He's moving around rapidly. The bones are growing explosively. Some of them, after they extend out of his skeleton, are extending into spiky prongs. He's knocked over a couple of tables.
Had a critical success, but then my disadvantage, I have a failure.
At this point, we need to get out of the room. Back way, everybody.
He's roughly now he's not standing up, but he would be twice as tall as he started. And it's not clear whether he's thrashing intentionally or whether just the rapid extensions of his bone mass is moving him around. But he's crushed a couple of canteen tables. Hold on. Yellow's taken a good poke in the chest from one of the spikes coming off of him and is sort of reeling back into the auto chef.
I'm going to try to drag Yellow and move out. Is Cyan now big enough that he can't fit through the doors anymore? Because you see, he's like double in size.
He would be twice as tall if he were standing.
Okay.
He would probably have to twist through a door. He couldn't stand up and run through one.
But he could crawl through.
And his
spikes.
rib cage or hips might become too big. It's hard to say.
Okay.
He's really moving around.
Yeah, I am exiting the room.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing Erica and also exiting the room.
Okay.
I'm backing out and I'm just wildly squirt gunning around. It's like away from our team, but towards everyone else.
Okay. So Moore and Yaren and Colton all expressed a desire to get out. There's two ways out. There's toward the habs and toward the labs. Which are you doing?
Whichever one I am closest to.
Okay, you came in here from the Habs and took a seat, so I'm going to assume you're on that side, and that way you could watch them coming in.
Is perhaps also where Debecki has her
Escape.
room with the well, at least the lockdown room and everything, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where she's got her safe house.
So towards that side, if is at all possible.
Okay, who's got their alpha card at the ready? Okay.
Yeah, everyone's cards.
We never got around to that. That was threatened, but never managed. All right, so you go and flash your card and start tripping over each other into the hallway. Debecki's gone white as a sheet. Alec is like making little yelping sounds like an injured coyote. Magenta is sort of trying to coordinate the exiting of the remaining Johnsons. More yellow says, the infirmary's way, and points toward the lab exit rather than the hab exit. So you have the choice whether you're going to try to follow those guys or go the other way.
Moore's going to go the other way.
Okay.
And to save the human life. Yes, doctor.
Well, I've grabbed Erica, and we're heading towards her habitation unit.
Okay. As you squeeze into the hallways, you can hear like rending and smashing as the Johnson, formerly known as Cyan, is making a big mess, to say the very least. He's smashing shit up good, and it sounds from the screams of Johnson's that he's trying to grab his remaining brothers.
I hope they don't mutate into some singular Shoggoth like Johnson. This huge Johnson composed of many Johnsons with Johnsons everywhere.
Johnson's all the way down.
There you go.
All right, so who's not dead?
So who's not dead? The most of you have gone out toward the Habs, and Debecki sort of yanks her arm away from you and is rushing toward her Hab, and she's saying, "Clean up, clean up!" And she's sort of smashing any of the comms buttons as she goes.
Will that bring the cleanup robot? Yeah.
No, that's her panic word. Follow her.
That or they'll tox the entire thing, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hot on her heels.
And as we're going, I say, "I'm sorry, Miss Debecki, that we couldn't find the drive, but I think we found the culprit."
Who knows? I might find it now.
Yeah, Petra on the case.
Oh, Petra doesn't even know what the fuck's going on.
Nobody said anything to me, so I'm just strolling along, whistling a tune.
Dear Petra, please note that there is an emergency.
Yeah, you're hearing some general like loud bangs from somewhere way back in the hallway.
I figured Dameron's just getting out of hand, but when Moore messages me, I'm like, what's going on, Moore?
I believe there is a minor disturbance in the cafeteria area. Where are you right now, Petra?
I'm headed currently. I'm headed towards that fake hiding place that Cyan told us about.
Now, is that closer to the hab or the lab?
The lab.
That's in the lab area.
In that case, please reroute and join me in the medical labs as soon as you can, please.
So
I'm almost there. I gotta check this place.
I understand.
Unless somebody's life is in danger, I'm going.
I would strongly suggest you make your way as soon as you can. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so the infirmary is where is it? It's near. It's quite near where Petra is. The infirmary is L4, whereas the specimens is L6. So you're headed in the same direction. Yellow got stabbed somewhere important enough that he's coughing up a little blood. And he's like, Cyan, why? Cyan. And there's another, the smashing sound is muffled now. And the comms come live again. And you hear Debecki's voice. She says, "Clean up on aisle 86." And that's when the klaxons begin to sound.
Oh, no.
And indeed, Dameron was following her into her chambers. Who else is with her? Chauncey?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah, okay. So the three of you are pushing. You're doing the whole elbow in the doorway thing, trying to get in there. And one of you, Dr. Yarn, you look back toward the canteen and see Black's face smash into the glass panel on the canteen door and become very two-dimensional and slide bloodily down. Petra, you're flipping open cabinets in the specimen room, and you find
Goose Chase.
You find a copy of Lady Chatterley's Lover. It's got a nice little gold embossing on the spine.
I'll be damned.
When you slide it out, give me an intelligence roll. You can use your jerry-rigging.
All right.
Bonus.
I got a 25, which is half of my skill.
Good. So you begin to pluck it out, and you feel a little tension. And you go up on your tiptoes, and you see that there's a black wire coming out of the book and leading into a small drill hole in the wall.
Okay. I'm going to tell the guys more. And the rest of y'all, you're not going to believe this, but there is a book here, but it's wired. I don't know if it's wired to a bomb or what yet.
Petra, Cyan has transmuted into a horned monster and has trashed the room. We're pretty sure he tried to shoot us with the serum. We have evacuated. He's now monstrous, so
shit. He's probably coming my way.
More is in the medical room. You should go there.
That's what he told me, but we gotta. This might be the disc. We might make our money.
Can you cut the string?
I'm gonna look at the wire. Spend a little bit of time, see if I can trace it. See where it goes to.
You have to sort of clamber up on something to look at the back of the thing. Again, there's a little hole drilled in the back.
Yeah, it's normal. I mean, these places.
There's little packages of cotton swabs and syringes in these cabinets, that sort of thing. You're distracted for a moment because you hear
Cyan crashing around.
Well, you hear a very high-pitched screaming Johnson run past the specimen door. And there's a kind of
Cyan's coming my way.
A couple of cabinets down, you see a little fairly straightforward like wire splitter thing that goes to a switch, and you realize that if you pull on that wire, the specimen doors will open and release the things that are in the room with you.
Yeah, don't want to do that. Can I disable it?
You can disable it.
Okay, that's what I do.
Very good. Now you've got a copy of Lady Chatterley's Lover.
I'd look in it.
It's probably kind of risque a few centuries ago.
Why would he? Why would he want wire it up?
Because they're fucking insane.
There's a really loud rending sound that makes the facility seem to shake slightly in its foundation.
And we looked through the specimen through those doors, right?
You looked
I
at
mean,
the
we didn't.
creatures that were in there, yeah. Um,
So it's possible the disc is in there. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the medical center.
it's just two doors down.
Yeah.
Again, the klaxons are ringing wildly. The each of the door pads that is, you hold a card to is also has a little amber light around it that's flashing. And you, from the medical lab, you see Moore patching up Yellow. Yellow's actually doing at least half the work. Um, uh, Magenta is leaning against the infirmary door, just having come inside, uh, clutching an obviously broken arm. Well, Cyan is fled into the jungle. Has lashed his way out. If he continues to grow at that rate, he'll surely be rent asunder by his own metabolism before long, even if he doesn't bleed out. But she's called for cleanup. We've got to make it to the shuttle. There's no time. And then you hear the sort of roar of flame from somewhere down the hall.
As we miss the shuttle.
No, not yet.
Oh,
The facilities.
The roar of flame is
Yeah.
maintenance droid Darwin, who has been activated with the code cleanup on IL 86. It's a
oh,
biomedical
He's sterilizing.
safety measure. He's
Danger
going
Will
to
Robinson.
purify the entire facility with fire.
So we've got a droid wandering around, burning everything down. Some kind of dick base Shoggoth wanting to kill us.
But it's smashed
And-
out already. It's outside.
Oh, right. He's outside. Okay, so I just got to get to the shuttle. Hey, Moore, how do we get to the shuttle without getting burned to a crisp?
I believe the doctors would have the most optimal path because they know the layout of the base best.
Well, yeah,
Let's go, guys.
That's back the way you came, for God's sakes.
Let's go.
Spray a cast on my arm or give me some painkillers, for fuck's sake. I can't. It's just, it's in it. His arm, you can't see any bones protruding because of his lab coat, but it's bent weirdly and it's bleeding.
Can we slap like a painkiller patch on it?
Like
So-
a
and
foam
he's
or
still-
something, yeah.
Yeah, just whatever is quickest.
Yeah, you open he stuffs some things into his lab coat pocket, more sort of foams his arm to his torso, which will not be good for long, but will do.
And I'll take up the rear while they run. So just in case Darwin catches up, maybe I'll distract him with some witty droid conversations.
Let's do speed checks, everybody. Everybody who's in the lab facility for now. The rest of you who are in with Debecki are okay for the time being.
Shit, I rolled a 3,
All right.
and I have a speed of 46.
Moore, you were trying to take up the rear, and Dr. Yaren appears to have tripped on his shoelace and fallen to one knee.
No, I'm in the.
Yeah,
I'm in
Yarn.
the-
Oh, you're with Debecki.
You mean-
Sorry.
yeah.
Right,
I'm
right.
with Debecki.
Yeah.
Good. So you shuttle. You sort of. How did you roll, Moore?
I got a 54, and I'm rolling against body or speed.
Speed.
Okay, so I failed. Perfect.
Good. Magenta and Yellow failed too. They both rolled in
Okay.
the 70s. So we're doing another Three Stooges doorway with all the shoulders sort of things, and nobody's getting anywhere. And you see a rush of flame coming around the hallway and rolling along the ceiling. The klaxon's really loud and pleasant.
Can I push
Hey, are the
them out?
Johnsons small enough that I could grab one and still run? I mean, I'm
The
a pretty big
Johnsons-
person.
Yeah, the Johnsons are not particularly big. Let's see what they're. They have. Yeah, they have with their bodies
It's okay.
to get.
It's
They're
too.
they're nerdy, so yeah, you can help them hustle.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna try to push them out, and
More can take care of themselves because that's what they do. But I'm gonna. I mean, I don't know why we're trying to save these guys, but it's
they are
instinct.
sentient life, Petra.
Instinct. I didn't
I
say
am
that.
obligated to save them.
Yeah, we're trying to save them. Watch out for the fire, though.
okay, so you make your way from the lab area into the decontamination area, which doesn't want to let you pass through without decontaminating yourself. But Darwin, the robot, is actively causing things behind you to explode. Between Moore's computer science and Petra's jerry-rigging, we're going to bypass those systems. You find that the one wall of the canteen is absent, and the jungle outside is verdant, and you see no sign of Cyan. However, a few of the jungle Johnsons have reached the facility through the broken wall.
Now, is Darwin like a Roomba where if it sees part of the wall that it expects or the door missing, that it'll just keep turning left and like wander out?
You can hope that it'll try to cleanse the jungle when it catches up to you. It certainly
Right, like
wasn't
just-
devised.
yeah.
It was devised to contain bio
Right.
masses, not giant bony Johnsons. So who knows how effective it'll be. There's there are a couple of Johnsons eating some fajitas in one of the less broken tables as you make your
And
way past.
slurp.
One of them is a bipedal human-sized insect that has little round glasses on. And the other is a very, very buff Johnson who's got some kind of primitive weapon strapped to his back. And the insectoid Johnson goes, little mandibles clicking together. And Buff Johnson says, clean up on aisle 86. Get out while you can.
Yes, we are trying to get out. Can you please assist your fellow Johnsons? And I point at the two non-weird Johnsons.
When you say that, like the insectoid one makes another funny noise, and the muscular one says, "Every Johnson for himself," and you realize that he's got Black Johnson's skull next to him on the table with his little spushed face. It says, "Wouldn't let me in. He wouldn't let me in."
Run, guys! Let's go!
I believe this is known Petra as a dick move.
When you make your way past the cafeteria into the habitation area, the klaxons are still going. There's a steel door that's come down in front of Administrator Debecki's office.
I go on the comm.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Yaren, please open the door so that the remaining Johnsons and Petra can enter.
I seem to recall from our first session that I disabled that door.
I thought you disabled the escape panel in the back. Am I misremembering?
Oh, that's right. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Debecki comes on the comms and says, "You'll just have to make your way to the shuttle platform ahead of Darwin. Once this is shut, I can't open it. But I've got an escape panel in the back, so I'll be all right. Just make your way to the shuttle platform. I'm not going to be here for an hour."
Petra, do you think we should notify
Okay.
the director and our friends that the escape panel has been disabled by you?
Oh, are they with her?
I believe they are in the room, yes. It might be prudent.
Agreed.
Chauncey, you're with us, right?
Yes, I am.
You're also a Teamster.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get to work on. I mean, if I know.
Chauncey, hate to mention this, but I disabled that escape hatch that you guys are depending on.
That's all right. I mean, it's good.
Here's what I did. I describe.
I'll start working on it to undo it to make it work again.
It should be pretty straightforward since I told you what I did.
It's not like you took a spark plug or something.
Or welded clothes.
I peed all over it.
And so, the surviving Johnsons and the crew, Debecki and her associate, managed to collect themselves in her secret escape room and alert the shuttle that it is not to land as planned, but to connect from hover position as the robot Darwin burns every organic molecule off of this Janus experimental station. Fortunately, the satchel with the extra vials of serum and the data drive was hidden in the water tank by Cyan, who intended to retrieve it before the shuttle arrived and make his escape. And since it's in the water tank, it doesn't burn. And when the corporate facility people come to clean up this mess, maybe they'll find it. But none of you are going to get that bonus, I'm afraid. Happily, Debecki frames Alec for the sabotage. Corporate has no interest at all in who did what or why, as long as they have a copy of his correspondence with their corporate enemy, Peyton Sterling. He's in violation of 6,000 pages of fine print, and they'll never ask him a single question, but just shuffle him off to some labor planet. And your crew is, given a little hazard pay and sent on your way, while the Johnsons move to a new facility to begin their important work again.
When we were reviewing Alex's correspondences, did we catch a name of the contact he had at Peyton
Sterling? Probably a code name.
Oh, but because Chauncey and I have 4 serums that we can put on the market to Peyton Sterling right now.
That would make you criminals.
I definitely exchange my two the assurance that our reputation as good at our jobs is not tarnished.
I'll keep my 2 for merchandise.
For just such an occasion.
Yes.
Any other where are you all in 5 years?
Junkyard, probably
tried my best to forget the whole thing, and I'm on other projects.
I refuse to die or retire, so I'm still piloting our ship.
Well, there's still some skulls to be cracked out there in the universe, so.
Also, I think that we probably consulted a lawyer as to how to modify our contracts in the future so that if there is any kind of murder, that we're entitled to our entire pay, even if we leave because we're afraid they're going to kill us.
Yeah, none of you died. Janus has great lawyers.
I'm going to spend some time devising devices to search for things in weird places, like, data disks in water tanks or that kind of thing.
Yeah, you have your own line of super smart Roomba searchers that you release in another few years.
Exactly.
Little
Thus, we
spiders.
conclude the mystery of Johnson Squared.
Wow. That was crazy. So Cyan was behind
Cyan.
everything.
Is it
Cyan's
all random? Like when you start, you have to roll randomly the doctor, the location, and all of that. How does setup work?
Cyan is the renegade. It's Cyan and his humanistic reading that has caused him, having learned about the intention to use the serum for warfare, he's going to make bad press for Janus, no matter what kinds of extravagant displays he needs to engage in to do so. Um, he's a big picture ethicist, not a small one. So had he been free to retrieve the satchel from the water tank as planned, he was going to force the pilot out of the shuttle with his serum gun and then shoot him with the serum to leave you a mutant so that you couldn't follow him. But he was going to take his samples and the data drive and make a big splash.
Isn't the serum topical? Why didn't they just get a water gun?
Well, it's, it again, like
You don't want to
you
get
could use it as a
splashed.
cream.
Okay,
It can be air, but like the most, injection is the most potent.
okay. And Hudson drank some serum then.
Cyan put it in Hudson's coffee, um, because he wanted Hudson's alpha pass,
Ah,
especially because you'd found Black's workaround.
right.
He wanted to be able to come and go. He was going to go to the security office
Mm.
and lock things up, and also get himself authorized to take the shuttle from the security office before he ditched you all.
We were
So-
really good at making stories around things, but we weren't very good at investigating.
We found everyone else.
Well, everybody
you
had low
narrowly
reasons.
missed a couple of moments. Like Cyan took Red's corpse out of the from the autopsy to
Right.
the incinerator. That's when he stole the pass. He kept saying like, "Go, I'll just take this. Just go away. I'll take this body away. Go away." There were a couple of little things that you didn't, in all of your suspicions, you didn't happen to ask about. But but it is intentionally Agatha Christie-like, and that everybody's hiding things and lying, and it's a big muddle.
I feel like, did we miss something? Because it seemed like, or at least 3 times you were hinting we need to go outside and talk to the
Yeah. Outside or the water
mutants.
tower, you've mentioned that a few times. Yeah.
You didn't really, the facilities area, you would have found at the furnace that so when Cyan was sneaking around, he stole one of Yellow's lab coats
Mm.
so that if he was seen in passing, he wouldn't be recognized. And and that got soiled in the process of his skullduggery. So there's a partially burned yellow lab coat in the furnace. The satchel does spend some time hidden in a water tank that he used a substance to melt a lock on. There were bits and bobs. And there were, other mutants in the jungle, which Hudson had been hunting. And it was a, perfectly reasonable thing that you may have gone and investigated, but they didn't have anything to do with the plan. Yellow was not only helping them medically, but arming them so that they could eventually take over the facility potentially, but it didn't come to that.
Cool.
I think ultimately, as we were discussing in the chat, we were the villains all along.
Yes.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I was desperately trying to concoct a reason to inject myself with the serum there at the end.
Oh, to
Have-
fight Johnson with Johnson.
Yeah, mutant fight, but I couldn't do it.
Just
I
don't
was gonna
know
do it
what's
to
going
Yellow.
happen to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm a little sad that none of you got to roll the mutation table. That's
I
the
was
sort of thing that is
hoping.
random. Where people will be, who will be in a room when you go there is somewhat randomized. a lot of those sorts of things are randomized, whereas who the villain was is not.
I was
I
hoping
think
in
for
ours
us,
cramming through the door that it would have shut, and like if I'd been
Cut
shut
half
out of
of
that
us.
room, I would have injected myself. But since I made it in that room,
Keep that in mind.
the door shuts down, you're facing it, and you stab yourself with like 2 serums.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been awesome. I think for us, if and I think you did flash it, if we got a handout of the layout, then and we were better at checking off who we've
Right.
talked to, and also which like 5 locations we haven't seen. I think on our end, we were, at least I know for me, I took a lot of word notes, but I never took the geography of everything.
That's a good point. And in fact, there isn't a sort of the kind of map you expect in a role-playing game is not part of this, interestingly.
Right.
There's a sort of loose, let me see that, sort of loose diagram, but it doesn't have a breakdown by rooms or anything. But that would be helpful for future reference to let you sort of map out where you are. I mean, there was nothing suspicious about Magenta not sleeping in his hab. He does just he's got a nice office, kind of like Debecki's office, and he mostly hangs out there. But if you inspected it, see, that's the map.
Yeah.
So not exactly a handout.
Right.
But Magenta also was privy to the knowledge of the weaponization. So that was another avenue for that sort of discovery.
So there was another place we didn't search.
Yeah, there were a couple of spots, right? And it would be helpful to have a map, a D&D style map to that end. Because you would, of course, going into a facility, in the future, you would be given a diagram of the whole place. And if you kept seeing that the furnace and the nuclear reactor and the water facility were over here and you never went there, they would start to niggle.
At least one of us would go, hey, wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Those are all
the
places you can hide stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely a lack of awareness of
that it even existed, right?
It was like the water tanks. Water tanks.
Like water?
There are water tanks.
For water?
It makes sense that there would be, but I just had never.
Right.
And why would we look in the water tanks for the drive? I mean, but that's a good hiding place.
Right.
Well, I mean, the plan, Dameron's plan, which obviously
he had a plan.
No, well, the plan was to get them all into this room, tie them all together, keep them there, and then tear every square inch of the place apart.
Yeah.
So we would have found it eventually with all of them out of the way, but
Yeah, I think there's
turns
something
out
where
the easiest way to find it was to burn the place down and then
there you
go
go
through the ashes. There it was.
I think if there was something where the thing that was stolen has to be stored at a certain temperature or has to have certain conditions because it's like isotopes that are gonna whatever, then that might help narrow down, because otherwise, as to your point, we have 7 rooms for each of the doctors. So you're looking at potentially 12, 15, 13 locations. And that's a lot to look through, I think.
Well, yeah, but we played 4 times. So
yeah, but from a game design,
you're
still tracking 14 sets of suspicious notes.
Well, like Chauncey and I'd have to go back to the previous episode of our decision why we stopped just tossing their rooms, right? Like we ended up searching Cyan's room last, and that was
right.
Yeah, coincidentally, not second to last, but yeah,
right. Like that was the kind of thing that was exactly the thing that we were looking for. But we went to the group meeting for lunch or something, and we never went back to tossing the rooms.
It's also the case that, I mean, so this was 4 2-hour sessions. We easily could have gone 2 more. You could have had a fight in the jungle because the wild ones are armed with wackadoodle things. And you were getting close to, you were actively suspicious of Cyan. And had leaned toward the correct motive more than once in conversation over the course of things.
Thing, yeah.
So I feel like it was, we weren't a million miles away from getting to solve it in the solvey way.
Yeah, I think the motive, as long as we were able to go, oh, it's not profit or it's not whatever, but it's like I think if the legacy of the Johnsons is something played up more or something that they were all adamant about or something like that, that would have let us eliminate the non-staff and then focus more on the weird Johnsons, I think. Because I know, at least for me, motive was still TBD. Like, is it money? Is it corporate espionage and sabotage? Or is it that thing, that mystery?
None of those things ever really go away. We know that it could be sabotage. It could be money. And the fact that we ran across somebody who was already stealing secrets really pulled us towards that person as the possible one.
Oh, Alec? Well, yeah, go ahead.
I thought it was a cleverly crafted thing, and maybe if they're listening right now, Joshua Luke Cable and Samuel T. McNally will
one of the myths they put on the YouTube
game for us. Yeah.
It'd be nice if they would run something for us. That would be really
Absolutely.
cool. Anyway, let me go ahead and finish up.
Yeah.
Our players included Morgan Llewellyn, Billy Chung, Kent Blue, Steve Anderson, and myself with David Gassaway as the game warden. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the strange and sometimes terrifying universe of the Mothership role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.